Alright guys, I'm going to give you guys a practice problem on the primary classification, just like yesterday, and some of you guys didn't get to do this, so this will be the first time seeing this. And then I'm going to give you a practice problem for you guys to do on your own after seeing this, so then you can come back and watch this video and try it again. So, first of all, the only fingerprints that are going to be given a value in the primary classification, because this is a math problem, the only ones that are going to be given a numerical value are whorls. And if you've looked at the notes at all the PowerPoint slides, we do have three prints, which we looked at yesterday: whorls, loops, and arches, or you might remember the acronym loops, arches, and whorls law. The only one that is going to be given a value is whorls, and it doesn't matter which of the four classes of whorls, just any type of whorl. So this first grouping, right index and right thumb, if either one of these has a whorl, it's going to be given a numerical value of 16. Okay, and then if the second grouping, and I'll get to the bottom here in just a second, if the second grouping has a whorl, then it is going to be given a numerical value of 8. The next grouping, left thumb or right little finger, has a whorl, it's going to be given a numerical value of 4. This one, the left middle finger or left index finger, if it has a whorl pattern on the finger, then it's going to be given a numerical value of 2. And this grouping, if it is left little finger or left ring finger, if it has a whorl, it's going to be given a numerical value of 1. Okay, and before I tell you the last part, we'll just go on down here. And so these are the numerators at the top, because it is a math problem. And so then the denominator would be why is it doing that? Okay, a 16 as well. If the right thumb has a whorl, it would be a 16. If the right middle finger has a whorl, it would be an 8. If the right little finger has a whorl, it would be a 4. If the left index has a whorl, it would be a 2. And if the left ring finger has a whorl, it would be a 1. So then what do we do with these numbers? Well, we add them up. Okay, I'm just going to add them up. Once we're done, we add them up. But that's not all we do. Addition is the only math function we're going to do. However, on the numerator, we are going to add an additional, I hate hitting that button. We're going to add an additional 1. And also on the denominator, we're going to add a 1. So if every single finger had a whorl, and we added all those up, then we'd get a value of 32. And same thing on the denominator, we get a 32. So the primary classification of a set of hands that had all whorls would be 32 over 32. But like I said, only fingers that have whorls get a number. So what about those loops and arches? Well, they get zeros. So if then a hand has only loops or arches, then they get, sorry about that, they will get zeros. I keep hitting that shift key. And then the last 0. And we'll go ahead and add our 1 here. Okay. And then all zeros on the bottom, on the denominator. Because again, we've got all loops and arches for this example. And then we add our 1 at the end. And so our value is 1 over 1. And like the PowerPoint slide says, this person who is 1 over 1 is going to be 25% of the population. Okay, so we'll just put, this is all loops slash arches. And that did not work out for us. I'm going to put this somewhere else. So, okay, and then we'll do that. And then this one would be whorls. So all whorls up there, all loops there. So let's look at this example right here that we have of this fingerprint card. So the first finger that we have here is going to be the right thumb, and so that's going to go on bottom. So I'm going to hit enter here and draw our line, and that one is going to go on the bottom, and it is a whorl. We can see a whorl at the kind of the top of the print, so it gets a 16 because it is the right thumb, and the right thumb gets the top part there. Okay, so then we have the next number 2 is a loop, and it is the right index, and that is the top of the first grouping, and so it gets a 0. And then we move on to the third finger, and the third finger is the right middle, and it is also a loop, and so it goes on the denominator. It is a loop, so it gets assigned a 0. Then the fourth finger is a whorl. It is the right ring. It goes on top of the second grouping. It's a whorl, so it gets an 8. And we get a plus sign there, and plus sign on the bottom. Then we get the fifth finger. It is a whorl. It is the right little. It goes on the bottom. It is a whorl, so we're going to put a 4. And then the sixth finger, first one on the bottom, is the left thumb. It is a whorl, so we're going to put a 4 because it is in the third grouping. We'll put our plus signs here. Then we have the left index. It is a loop, so it's going to be assigned a 0, and it goes on the bottom, the denominator. Next is the left middle. It is a loop, and it will be assigned a 0. Do our plus signs. And the last pairing, we have left ring, which is a whirl. It goes on bottom. And the last pairing is a 1. So we're going to put a 1 on the bottom. Then we have the left little, which is a whirl. So it also gets a 1. And then we're going to add our 1s at the end. So 1 and 1. And now we just total up the numerator and the denominator. So the numerator at the top here, we have 8 and 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14. And then the denominator is 16 and 4 is 20 plus 2 is 22. So our primary classification is 14 over 22 for this example. Okay. So I'm going to share this video, and then I will also give you an example of a card, and you type up your primary classification answer. I'm going to give you the answer key at the top as far as your right index over right thumb, right ring over right middle, so on and so forth, along with the card on your document, and you just put your primary classification onto that same document. Share it with me. It'll be worth some bonus points for you on an assignment or the test, possibly. We might use that for the test for this chapter. 10 points if you do it and get it done. So there you go. If you have any more questions, let me know. Thank you.